So just a brief reflection, those of you who joined perhaps during the meditation or just before. This is not a themed meeting today. It's more of an open meeting into true nature. And so my reflection today is just a brief reflection on looking at what we're up to here. Just coming at this again, because this exploration that we are in together here is a relatively speaking, uncommon exploration. And yet the promise of this exploration is profound. At least this is how it looks to me. In that what's on offer is the discovery of unbroken peace, unbroken peace. The unbroken peace that happens when suffering drops away. All forms of suffering drop away, and in its place arises unbroken peace of mind and happiness. The kind of happiness that is not dependent on any circumstance in our life or in our body or in the world being a certain way. Happiness that is free of any way we think happiness happens. Oh, and I just remembered I wanted to also say, in what we're starting off today, thank you to those of you who reached out to me after last month's meeting with your care and for Jeff. Some of you remember Jeff, and I had a chat with Jeff over email about the nature of the group and what we're up to here, and it became clear that Jeff's not looking for inquiry. So he won't be joining us again, at least until maybe he, is open, opens up to inquiry. So what are we up to here? What's inquiry? Well, it's often put in that simply as we're simply inquiring into who we really are, who we really are. Now, this inquiry doesn't go by reinforcing or strengthening or establishing beliefs. Does not go by reinforcing, strengthening, or establishing new beliefs. And this is why I often say to you here, please don't try to believe anything I say. And I invite you, as we share together, not to try and believe anything if anybody says here. What we're up to, if anything, is the dissolving of beliefs, the breaking down of the beliefs about who we think we are. How we think life works, where we think happiness comes from, is the dissolving of the beliefs that we have absorbed, invisibly absorbed, taken on, taken to be true. And by taking beliefs to be true, we feed the beliefs, and then we end up defending our beliefs and justifying our beliefs. So we're not in the business of creating beliefs. We're in the business of examining and seeing beliefs which can become invisible to us. It's starting to see with the capacity that I call noticing, or the capacity to simply be conscious, to see with the light of consciousness, beliefs that used to be invisible. And once we see beliefs with the light of consciousness, a dissolving occurs. The light of consciousness is like a solvent that dissolves what's not true. To the degree to which we are believing beliefs, whether we're conscious of those beliefs or not, to the degree that beliefs are being believed, those beliefs will be projected onto the world. That is simply the mechanism. It's not a wrongness, it's simply the mechanism. So if what occurs in the world does not fit our belief, then what is triggered is a reaction. Oh, why is this happening? This should not be happening. It does not fit my belief of love or happiness or peace. It doesn't fit my belief. And so once we are in that experience of the world playing out and our beliefs are being superimposed on top of the world and there's not a good fit, and then there's a reaction to that not good fit, what do I do about this? I don't like this. What do I need to change it, fix it, get rid of it? Or we turn that lack of good fit against ourselves. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Or we turn that lack of good fit onto another people. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? You see, that's the road to suffering. And what's on offer here is for beliefs to dissolve away. And what reveals is our true nature. What reveals is the animating force, the light, the intelligence behind life that is animating all of life. And this animating force of life is not a person. It's impersonal and infinite and eternal. And this animating force is given many, many names. And one of the names that I particularly resonate with, different people resonate with different terms, but the word love has always been deeply resonant for me. But I also enjoy using the words consciousness and awareness. Because the word love can conjure up in the belief system many different pictures of what love is supposed to look like. In the way that, in the context of this conversation, love is a word for the source that gives birth to all of life, without exception. Is the animating force that animates the body-mind and all body-minds that appear separate to us that really aren't separate. That the love, the light that animates body-minds and all of life, that animating force, sometimes called light, when we really see each other, we appear separate to each other. When we really see each other with consciousness, we see the light that we all are. There's only one light. So this exploration reveals our true nature, the truth about love, what love really is, and dissolves the belief that we are separate from each other. And when the belief and the experience, when the belief that we are separate dissolves and the experience of being arises, and the experience that we are one being, that we share a being, with that experience, the way it looks to me is that it simply makes less and less sense to go to war with anybody, to harm anybody else. Because it's really seen there is only one of us. There's only one being.